Hi, I'm Chastity Chrisman. I am a graduate student at Lamar University in the Applied Digital Learning program, and this is my digital learning journey synthesis. Where did I start? As many educators that struggled and survived teaching through the pandemic, I was close to leaving the profession. I was ready to go back to bartending and making easy money. Then I questioned myself, why do I want to give up? Do I really want to let these kids down? Then I wondered what I could do to make myself more marketable in this technology filled world of teaching that we are heading towards. And there I was researching new degrees, looking for a second master's, and I came across the Applied Digital Learning degree at Lamar University. I looked into it, thought it sounded interesting, and decided to sign up. I have to say that I was not prepared for the road ahead of me. I was immediately blown away in the first live session with Dr. Hrabnik. He introduced himself and jumped right in to give us a taste of COVA, choice, ownership, and voice through authentic learning. He told us what was expected, what we would be learning, and that we would have to be in charge of our own learning. He told us we would have to be innovative thinkers with the intent of bringing that innovation into our very own classrooms and lives. We had to create an innovation project that would have to be built upon for the next year. So, who was all involved? One thing that Dr. H also told us was that we would have to find a group of strangers, befriend them, make them our colleagues, and these people will be our saving graces through this program. We had to find fellow students that were working towards innovation projects similar to our own and work through it together. I was used to learning and working alone. It was a bit unsure of how this would all work, but I found my people. I became a part of not only one, but two cohort groups that became my sounding boards and my saving graces. We have spent the last year bouncing ideas off of each other and supporting each other. I started out with a larger group that I still collaborate with. Then a few of us branched off and formed a smaller, more purposeful group. I started with just me, Andrea, and Kelvin. And then we brought in Andrea to our group and finally added Danielle. I don't think I could have done it without these four people, and I'm forever grateful to them. The highs and lows of my learning process. When I think back on this degree program, I have to be so proud of myself. There were times that I questioned why I did this and why I thought I could do two classes at a time. There were days that I felt accomplished and good about my assignments, and there were days I was disappointed in myself for not trying harder or for procrastinating and stressing myself out. There were many nights I was up until midnight trying to finish my assignments, with a few times that I finished a day ahead of schedule. The hardest part of it all was being in charge of my own learning, motivating myself to complete my assignments, and leaning on others when I needed help. But the hardest parts gave me my greatest feelings of accomplishment. So, how did I feel through it all? At first, it was uncomfortable, scary, and difficult. At times, it was stressful, challenging, and exhausting. But in the same breath, I can say that it was also exciting, eventful, interesting, and exhilarating. Just like this roller coaster here. When I started, I felt that I needed more guidance, more structure than I was given in order to succeed. Boy, was I wrong. I have felt more successful in this educational experience than I have ever before. I have grown as a student, a collaborator, and an educator. I now feel ready to jump in both feet forward to try to create a more significant learning experience on my own for my class, and I'm ready to help my fellow educators that are interested in becoming creative, engaging, student-centered teachers. What I created. In this program, I created a media pitch to get others involved in blended learning. I learned how to make an action research plan and a learning manifesto. I made videos on my learning process and even created a course on a platform that I had never used before. I created infographics, charts, and tables that I can use in my future. to guide my own lessons. I created an innovation plan to bring blended learning into my classroom, my school, and hopefully my district. But the thing I am most proud of is my e-portfolio. My education portfolio is something that I will use for the rest of my life. I will use it as a digital resume. I will use it to help future learners in my classes. That is what I'm most proud of. I had stepped so far out of my own comfort zone that it was a dot on the map, but I'm grateful for every bit of this experience. All of my assignments created the learner and educator that I am today. So, what have I accomplished through this journey? As I look back at all of the classes I've had, I accomplished so much. In 5303, I created my innovation plan with the intentions of sharing it with my school. In 5303, I made my very own e-portfolio that would be something I would use throughout this learning process as well as in the future. In 5304, I explored my why and became a self-differentiated learner. In 5302, I explored growth mindset and expanded my e-portfolio through COVA. In 5389, I explored how I could use professional learning to bring my innovation plan to life by bringing other teachers with me. In 5313, I dug deeper into CSLE. In 5317, I realized the importance of becoming a published educational author. In 5315, I realized the importance of action research. In 5318, I created an actual course to introduce blended learning to fellow teachers with hopes to have them join me in my implementation journey. And in 5320, I synthesized my entire program into one cohesive page. So what worked? I became a true collaborator through this process. I learned how to work with other people. I learned how to truly lean on colleagues to help myself be successful. I worked hard to finish things by the due dates and not to make excuses for being late. So what could I have done better? On the flip side of getting things done on time, I really could have done a better job of being more prepared and not procrastinating. I've always struggled with this. I've always felt that I do my best work under pressure, but I honestly believe that that is not true anymore. I feel that I could have done better if I had planned ahead and tried harder to get assignments done ahead of time. So, what lessons did I learn? I have learned more than I ever thought I would. I learned that I am not afraid to take on new projects. I have learned that I am an innovator and I cannot do everything alone. I've always struggled with leaning on others and looking to others for advice and for support. That comes from my mom, from her being a strong, independent woman, and told me I didn't really need to depend on anyone, but that's not true when it comes to this job, when it comes to being an educator. I have leaned on and supported my colleagues through this entire process. We've needed each other, and I have enjoyed having that connection with others that are by my side in this journey. I learned that I have what it takes to be a true innovator and a campus leader. I also learned how to conduct an action research study as well as become a published author. Where I am now, my journey is not even close to being over. I have started expressing my plan to some of my teachers in my school, and I've submitted my innovation proposal to my principal again. I'm not sure what the future holds for blended learning in my school, but I'm very hopeful. There have been a lot of things going on at my campus that have put a little wrench in my plans, but I'm not giving up. I've started making a couple of different blended learning lessons, so I'm ready to forge forward the moment I get the go ahead again. And finally, what's next? I'm going to keep moving forward, hoping to get the go ahead to start over and bring blended learning to life again. Until then, I will keep researching. I will keep learning all that I can about blended learning, and I may even start a few of my kiddos and call them my enrichment activities. I'm also going to work to get myself published, and I'm going to keep building on my e-course for the future so that I can help my teachers learn how to become blended learning teachers and help them realize my innovation plan idea.